Don't ever buy meat at Walmart until you watch this video to the end. Here is why. Number 1. The freshness is not what you think. Have you ever noticed those fresh stickers slapped on meat that's clearly seen better days? For example, you might pick up a package of chicken that looks slightly discolored or has a faint odor, yet the label shows a recent sell-by date. That's not your brain playing a fast one on you. It's actually Walmart playing a fast one on you. Whistleblowers have revealed that some Walmart locations repackage older meat, change expiration labels, or slap on new stickers to keep it moving off the shelves. In one reported case, employees described taking meat that was approaching or past its original expiration date, repackaging it in new trays with fresh plastic wrap, and applying new date labels to make it appear fresh. It's called rebranding, and as bad as that sounds, it's actually not illegal. This practice exploits a loophole in food labeling laws that don't explicitly forbid changing packaging or dates if the product is still deemed safe by the store. It's a dirty trick that leaves customers thinking they're buying prime cuts when in reality they're buying meats on injury time. Number 2. Short shelf life. Here's something you may not know. The dirtiest secret in grocery retail is recycling meat. And guess what? Walmart sits at the top of this food chain. So this is how Walmart pulls this off. Whenever a meat is nearing its expiration date, the meat gets discounted, repackaged, or simply left out with a manager special sticker slapped on top. For example, a package of chicken that was originally labeled to expire in 2 days might be repackaged with a new label and a bright yellow sticker offering a 30% discount, making it look like a great deal. Now, when you see them in that repackaged, discounted price, your instincts set in. You grab them thinking it's an absolute steal. You might think you're saving money on a fresh product, but in reality, you're buying meat that is on the verge of spoiling. It's when you get home that you'll know who was actually stolen from. Often, the meat may have a slight off smell or a slimy texture that only becomes apparent after a few hours in your fridge, revealing the true cost of that bargain. Number 3. The enhancing or injecting practice. If you buy meat at Walmart regularly, there is no way you've not seen those weird pools of liquid inside Walmart's meat packages. For example, you might have noticed that the liquid often looks unusually clear or slightly pinkish, rather than the typical reddish-brown juices you'd expect from fresh meat. But what if I told you that it's not natural juices? You see, much of the meat, especially cheaper cuts like ground beef or chicken thighs, is pumped with saline solutions and preservatives to make it look plumper, redder, and fresher than it really is. This practice, known as enhancing or injecting, involves adding a mixture of water, salt, and other additives directly into the meat to increase its weight and improve its appearance. It's a psychological trick that sells the illusion of freshness to you, making the meat appear more appealing on the shelf, even if it's been sitting for days. This means whenever you pay for meat at Walmart, you're also paying for a sachet of water, and not just any water. Water mixed with chemicals like sodium phosphate, which helps retain moisture and improve texture, and potassium lactate, which is used to preserve color and reduce bacterial growth, designed to preserve color and mask spoilage. Do with that information as you wish. Number 4. Inconsistent quality. Buying meat at Walmart is a gamble. You might get a good one today and tomorrow a slimy disaster that smells like overworn socks. Much like the viral videos showing moldy chicken and beef with a foul odor that circulated on social media in 2023. Customers across the country report the same horror stories, such as steaks turning brown before the sell-by date, an issue documented in multiple consumer complaints where meat discoloration indicated early spoilage, and chicken that smells weird, reminiscent of the complaints during Walmart's 2022 poultry recall due to bacterial contamination. Ground beef leaking mystery juices everywhere is another common problem. It's simply a risk to buy meat at Walmart, no two ways about it. One customer said, "Only eat meat from Walmart if you purposely want to get sick and avoid work the next day." Number 5. There are no in-store butchers. Did you know that most Walmart locations don't have a real butcher on site? This means no one's trimming steaks by hand, no one's grinding fresh beef, and no one to ask about a weird smell or a custom cut. For example, if you wanted a thicker ribeye or a special trim on your pork chops, you simply can't get that personalized service. What you see is what you get, and what you get is often prepackaged somewhere far away, sometimes hundreds of miles from the store, and left to sit for who knows how long on open-air shelves, increasing the risk of spoilage and loss of freshness. The unavailability of butchers means you cannot request specific cuts or freshness levels, unlike at specialty butcher shops where you can ask for meat cut to your exact preference or get advice on the best way to cook a particular cut. It also means you have limited or no information at all about where and how the meat was processed, unlike stores that source locally or provide detailed traceability. Which leads us to the next reason you shouldn't buy meat from Walmart. Number 6. Sourcing. Neither you nor the employee 100% legit know where the meats are coming from. Walmart sources a significant portion of its meat from large industrial farms that prioritize efficiency over quality and sustainability, making it hard for you to know how the animals were raised or processed. Did you hear that? Efficiency over quality. This goes to show that quality is not even in their menu. For example, many of these farms use intensive confinement systems where animals have limited space to move and are often given growth hormones or antibiotics to speed up production. This means the meat you buy might come from animals raised in crowded, stressful conditions, which can affect both the taste and safety of the meat. Needless to say that this lack of transparency means you cannot easily verify if the meat is fresh, safe, or ethically produced, which is a significant concern if you care about animal welfare and responsible sourcing. Even if you scan the QR code those employees often point at when you inquire, you'll still get nothing useful, often just generic information about the supplier without details on farming practices or processing standards, leaving you in the dark about what exactly you're buying. Number 7. It's not cheap because they are kind. Walmart is cheap. For a grocery chain that built its foundations on discounts, it shouldn't come as a surprise that it sells some of the cheapest meats in the country. But what if I told you there is a behind-the-scenes story to this you didn't know? Think about it for a moment. How can they undercut almost every other grocery store in America? They're not giving you a deal out of kindness. Hell no. They're cutting costs at every step. Lower grade meat, mass processing, minimal staffing, and even zero accountability. For example, instead of sourcing premium cuts, Walmart often relies on lower grade meat that contains more fat and connective tissue, which is cheaper but less nutritious and flavorful. Their mass processing means meat is handled in huge batches with less individual care, increasing the risk of contamination and spoilage, as seen in past recalls involving large quantities of ground beef linked to E. coli outbreaks. Minimal staffing at Walmart stores means fewer trained butchers or quality inspectors are available to check the freshness and safety of meat products before they reach your shopping cart. Even more concerning is the lack of accountability when problems arise. See, when you buy Walmart meat, you're saving a few bucks at the expense of your health. So, which is more important to you? A few bucks or your health? Number 8. The temperature abuse. Meat needs to stay at a constant cold temperature of 32 degrees Fahrenheit to 40 degrees Fahrenheit from shelf. This is the USDA-approved temperature, but either Walmart didn't attend the meeting or they didn't receive the memo. For example, in several investigations, Walmart meat displays were found to be operating above this range, sometimes reaching temperatures as high as 50 degrees Fahrenheit, which is well beyond the safe limit. Because meat at Walmart sits too long at unsafe temperatures, and once that temperature rises even for a short period, bacteria like Salmonella and E. coli can multiply fast. In one notable case, a Walmart store in Texas was linked to an E. coli outbreak traced back to improperly refrigerated ground beef, illustrating how quickly contamination can occur. And the worst part is, you'll never know by looking at it. The meat may appear fresh and red on the surface, but harmful bacteria can be growing underneath, invisible to the naked eye. Most times this is as a result of Walmart's massive distribution system, combined with staffing shortages, frequent stock rotations, and careless customer handling. For instance, during peak shopping hours, employees may struggle to keep up with restocking and temperature checks, while customers frequently open packages or leave meat out, further compromising safety. This complex chain of factors creates a perfect storm for unsafe meat conditions that can put you, the consumer, at risk. Number 9. Inconsistent inspections. With limited staff and huge volume meat sections, it simply means meat often goes hours without proper checks. It goes without saying that when inspections are not thorough or consistent, spoiled or contaminated meat can reach the shelves, as seen in multiple incidents where Walmart had to recall large quantities of ground beef due to E. coli contamination, a serious health hazard, especially for vulnerable groups like children and seniors. Such recalls and safety violations make you question whether the meat you buy is safe to consume. In fact, former employees have reported rush jobs where spoiled meat was simply hidden at the bottom of displays instead of being removed. Who knows the fate of the unlucky shoppers who took it home? Number 10. Numerous lawsuits. Of course, with all these cutting corners, inconsistent inspections, and disregard for quality, it really shouldn't come as a surprise that Walmart has accumulated some of the worst lawsuits in the last few years. It faced a class action lawsuit in Canada after the 2016 Fort McMurray wildfires, where it was accused of selling food products, including meat, contaminated by smoke and toxins. The lawsuit sought $10 million in damages for customers who purchased or consumed these unsafe products, alleging negligence and irresponsible sales practices. Alberta Health Services had also filed multiple public health charges against Walmart for this incident. But before then, in 2010, Walmart also had to recall deli meats such as roast beef, ham, and salami after a retail sample tested positive for Listeria monocytogenes, a bacteria that can cause serious infections, especially in children, elderly, and immunocompromised people. These meats were distributed for in-store deli sandwiches, but were removed and destroyed after the contamination was discovered. As if that wasn't enough, 4 years later, about 16,000 pounds of raw ground beef produced by Cargill Meat Solutions and sold at Walmart stores across multiple states were recalled. This recall was prompted by the U.S. Food Safety and Inspection Service, FSIS, due to potential E. coli contamination. A family in Texas also sued Walmart after allegedly getting severe food poisoning from chicken purchased at their local store. The lawsuit claimed Walmart sold them expired poultry that led to multiple hospitalizations. Like I said earlier, it's a risk buying meat at Walmart. No two ways about it. Number 11. The looks fresh, smells rotten trap. One of the biggest complaints from real shoppers is the looks fresh, smells rotten trap. You pick up a package that looks great, bright red beef, plump chicken, all shrink-wrapped and shiny, only to get home, open it, and get punched in the face by the smell of something that died twice. For example, many customers have reported buying Walmart's prepackaged ground beef that appears vibrant and fresh on the shelf, but emits a strong sour or ammonia-like odor once opened, indicating spoilage. Why? Because Walmart suppliers use packaging techniques like modified atmosphere packaging, EMAP, which replaces oxygen with gases such as carbon dioxide and nitrogen to keep meat looking red longer. This method slows down oxidation, which normally causes meat to turn brown, so your eyes say fresh, but your nose says biohazard. While it's not illegal, modified atmosphere packaging is widely used in the meat industry. It can be misleading. By the time you find out the meat is spoiled, it's often too late to return it without a fight, as Walmart's return policies can be strict or complicated when it comes to perishable items. Number 12. Zero accountability. You're on your own if you bought bad meat at Walmart. Good luck getting a refund. While some locations will handle returns easily, countless customers report being stonewalled, told they needed a receipt even when the meat was clearly spoiled, or that they should have noticed the smell in store, or that meat is perishable and buyer beware. For example, one customer shared on social media how Walmart staff refused to accept a return of visibly moldy chicken without a receipt, despite the product being clearly unsafe to eat. Translation: once you walk out the door, it's your problem. Meanwhile, stores like Costco will bend over backward to make it right, no questions asked. They often offer full refunds or replacements even if you don't have a receipt, prioritizing customer satisfaction and trust. Walmart, not so much. Number 13. A guarantee without enforcement. Walmart loves to advertise freshness guaranteed on their meat, but what does that really mean? A guarantee without enforcement is just a slogan and based on thousands of customer complaints, ranging from spoiled chicken arriving with a foul odor to ground beef turning brown and slimy within a day. Freshness guaranteed might as well come with an asterisk the size of Texas. For example, numerous shoppers have reported purchasing fresh chicken only to find pink slime or an unpleasant texture that made it inedible, while others have received ground beef with browned edges and off smells, indicating spoilage well before the stated expiration date. Because if you're the unlucky shopper who gets the spoiled pack, the pink slime chicken, or the brown-edged ground beef, there's no real guarantee at all. Walmart's cheap prices might lure you in, but once you experience the real cost, wasted money from throwing out spoiled meat, ruined meals where the food tastes off or causes stomach upset, and potential health risks like foodborne illnesses, you realize the savings aren't savings at all. These and many more should be enough reasons why you should never buy meat at Walmart again. If you picked something valuable from this video, give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.